Alright, to make a character talk and blink and show emotions and all of that, like for creating cutscenes in Unity, you're gonna need all of this stuff here. The links will be in the descriptions. First thing we're gonna do is use Fuse. We're also gonna be using 3ds Max. You could get it free if you're a student, but you could also use blenders or other stuff. For right now, I'm gonna use 3ds Max. Fuse is also free. It's on Steam. Let me just show you here. Yeah, you could get it on Steam. So there's nothing to worry about there. First thing we're going to do is open it up and make our character. So I'm just going to design mine real quick. Let's do this guy. Yeah, that looks good. And now I'm just going to save him. And you'll see why in a bit. So now I'm going to close this and I'm going to reopen it. Now I'm just going to press open. And now if I make any change, I could Control Z anytime I like, and it'll always go to how it's supposed to be. Just in case I ever mess up. Just remember to never close this window because every time you open your character, it rebuilds it. And I don't know if you saw this little thing here, like when every time it rebuilds the character, you're not able to morph it with another build version. Like if I save this right now, close it, reopen it, and change the way his mouth is, I can't morph them together. It won't work. So make sure you keep this open until you're 100% sure everything to do with this character is done. So first, we're gonna just make the emotions. So I'm gonna go here, go to face, go to angry all the way, and export it. Make a folder for all my emotions. Control Z all the way. Awkward. And the rest. So you're just gonna have to do the same thing for all of these. Or you could skip some, like for example, I'm gonna skip Goofy because I don't need that, and it's kind of like the same as Happy here. Alright, now that that's done, what we're gonna do next is make our lip sync blends. So we have our emotion ones, now we do lip sync. We could use this image here. I don't know if it's copyright, but I don't think it is, but they want attribution, so it's like by pch.vector. I think that's good enough. But basically we make our blend shapes to match these diagrams. So first thing we're gonna do is make our AEI. That looks about good. Yeah. Put it in our lip sync folder. And now the spam Control Z, go to customize face. Now we have to do O. That looks better. And just like that, we have to do the rest of these. We're gonna skip TH, the CH and R. We don't use those. So now we're on this, so lower lip down. Yeah, it looks like he's saying C or D or anything like that. I'm just gonna save time. I'm not trying to write all of that. And now let's do Q and W. Hey, wait a second. Oh, it was open this whole time? That might mess things up. It's fine. Was it always open? Because I'm Control Zing it. Yeah, no, that means it has to be from the beginning. See, that's why the Control Z method makes it peak. Otherwise, if say I saved 4 of them with like uh closed mouth and the rest was this, like in between it would, like when you're saying like apple, you would see random stuff like this going on. It would just look silly. Hopefully this will be fine. We'll see. Mouth open, go to Q. Now we have L. And now let's do our BMP. For this way, I need our mouth to be closed. Let's do our FV. It kind of looks like the F is his regular, but let's just try to make it more accurate if we can. Yeah, that looks like a F, like he's just about to cuss me out or something. Now let's go to E, and then we have U, and we're done. So E is mouth open. It looks like a E. Nah, I need to make his lip corners different. Yeah, that looks good. And finally U, and we're done. Wait a second. Oh no, it's been messed up. It was 0 the whole time because I'm holding Control Z and it's coming to this. I think it's I accidentally saved it. Is it when you save it? Like I go like this, Control S. It'll go down to Control Z all the way. Oh, wait, what? It's fine. I think it was all 0. And for the previous ones, we already changed this mouth value anyway, so nothing should go wrong. We'll see. It just mainly we want our emotions to have these like everything neutral, and the emotions would change. That's important. Because if you're saying if you're saying apple and your mouth shape says the letter D or something, so while if you say that while awkward, it'll make you say the letter D while you're saying apple. I don't know how to explain it, but it'll look weird. So I gotta do this. Let's just make sure this is normal. This would actually mess it up. Cause like for example, if you do lip narrow wide and all your like half of these are wide and then half of them are not, you'll just look weird when you're talking, your mouth randomly going up and down, this, that. Anyway, all we have left is U, so let's make that. There we go, and I think we're done. Oh no, we still have blink. We forgot about that. So just to be safe, I'm gonna set this to reset so it's completely blank. When we do blink, we're gonna go to eyes and close them. I don't know why it only does that much, but we can also just slim it. So now it's completely closed, and now we have our blink. And now we're done. Let's just double check, because that way we don't want to have to start all over if we close this. Oh no, we're missing one more thing, which is our T-pose. So that's our regular base guy. So we're gonna go here, reset, let's go to make sure everything's normal. This thing, if this is messed up, then everything's gonna be messed up, because like I said, same thing as before. It'll just like flash in between random stuff. So let's do our base. Ideally, you should do this before. I don't know why I did it last. I forgot. And that's everything from here. We're done with this. Save your changes, discard. You know what? Let's see what our changes was. I'm gonna not save it. Yeah, so his mouth was never changed. He always looked like this. Alright, so let's see what it looks like when we blend it together. So now we're gonna open 3ds Max. Alright, so now we're gonna import our base guy, which is our T-pose. And you can see we have our guy right here, looking good. Now we're gonna import all of our emotions. So let's do angry. We're gonna import the bodies only. So this was angry. Awkward. Alright, so now we're gonna go to his original body. Click this thing. And we're gonna click modify list and search for morpher, which is right here. Now we're gonna assign all of our emotions. Right click on these boxes. Wait, yeah. Right click and left click on the ones we wanna pick. Now let's get rid of these from here. And now let's look at our character. Don't worry about his eyelashes, we'll fix that in Unity. For now, let's just do our blends. You can see how they work. If you want, and like your character is a guy, you don't really need them, you could also just get rid of it by deleting it. Clicking on it and delete, but yeah, it doesn't matter. Alright, now let's do our lip sync. So we're gonna go import, whoops, go to import lip sync. Now we do all of these. All right, now let's assign our lip syncs. You see, it looks pretty cool right now. Add another morpher. What's going on here? And in this one, we're going to assign all our lip syncs. Is that all of them? I just want to make sure we're not missing any. There's 9 of them. Okay, that's good. There's 9 of them here as well. So we could go ahead and delete these 2. And that's about it, yeah. Wait, no, there's still one here. What is... Oh no, there's nothing. Okay, well, I don't know what that was about. But now, yeah, so we're gonna go here. We could see our blends here. And we also, now we're gonna do our blink. So for this, we're gonna do both body, and if you're choosing to keep the eyelashes, then eyelashes. And now, just like before, we're gonna go to the body. Let's go here. Pick blink. And we could also go to our eyelash, add a morpher, and select our blink eyelash. Now that we're done with that, we could get rid of both of these. And when it blinks, you'll see our eyelashes stay in the same place. So that's why we have to go like this and go like that. There we go. Our thing is done. I'm just gonna save this. There's not really any need to save, but you never know. Maybe you might need to open it sometime. Well, then you have to start all over if you want to add another blend shape, but maybe you missed one or something like that. All right, now let's go ahead and export our character as a FBX. I don't know why it doesn't remember where I was before. All right, now let's go guy. We have our FBX, save. Make sure these things are checked off, the deformation, skins, morphs. It's all here. Let's press OK. And it's done. Now we could close this. And now let's head over to a website called Mix Ammo. This basically lets you rig your character. Don't worry about this guy. First off, let's make it so we could distinguish which is which. Let's change our FBX guy to mouth rigged only. And now we're gonna upload our character. Now we're just gonna go through the rigging process. This is pretty simple. Alright, now you can see our character is rigged. Now we're just gonna download this guy. And there we have it. Let's put this in our character folder, open this, and rename this to guy. That's our final thing. And let's also, now we could start creating the Unity scene, but let's also get an animation for the Unity scene, so just to spice it up a little. Alright, now let's create a new Unity project to put that in. I don't know what that's about, doesn't matter. Let's import our character. So we're gonna take our, let's just make it a little more organized. Make character. And here we'll put our guy. Our T pose. Did I not download the sitting animation? I did. Let's put it in here too. And that's about it. That's all we need from our guy. Let's just set up this scene a little. Alright, now let's fix our issue with the eyelashes. We'll just come here, drag this texture onto them, go here. There we go. I don't know why it's not dark. Could quickly just there we go. That looks better. Let's move our camera so it's in the right place. We could see our guy. Yeah, so we could see our guy. Let's give him a nice background too. Now let's just create an empty scene so we could put all of our stuff in that. Alright, now I guess we're ready for our lip sync. Let's set it up. So what you're gonna do is you should have this thing download, our LipSync. We got it from online. Actually, let's do our AutoBlink first. So AutoBlink, all you have to do is simply drag it in. And we could grab our character, throw it on there. You could throw this wherever you like. We're gonna drag our body in here because that's where our blends are. See, you could see here blend shapes. And then we'll do, there you go, our eyelash. Let's see our body. Our thing is capital, so we gotta change that. These things gotta align exactly with what it's named. There you go. Let's do conversation and it should work. Yeah, so he just blinks and you could change the interval and all that stuff. I think now let's do our lip sync. So you're just gonna open this folder, our lip sync. You're gonna take these two, extract them, and now we could put them in our project. And now if you look at our tools, we can see our lip sync. First, let's set up our lip sync. So we're gonna go here, minimize our blinker. You're gonna go to runtime, find the lip sync player, and drag it onto our guy. See, now we have this here. Let's attach our body. Let's add an audio source. It doesn't even, yeah, this is fine. We could just drag this here. These here is like you could make something happen when you start talking and when you finish talking. Let's just make an example about that too. Gonna make 3D object. When we start talking, this cube will disable and it'll disappear. And when he finishes talking, this cube will reappear. Alright, so now that we have all of that set up, let's import the speech we want our character to say. And we'll go to Tools, LipSync, create a new LipSync file. Mr. Hippo's talking, so we'll just name it Mr. Hippo. You can name it whatever you like. Let me make this smaller. Go in here, attach my audio clip. So how this works is you would add a key wherever you wanted to say something. Like here, you could make it say ah, e, oo, or whatever, according to the time frame. But for time's sake, I'm not gonna do all of that right now. I'm just gonna use the auto function right here. So I'm gonna press clear keys. You could, this is how many keys there are per second. You could edit it. I'm gonna go for about 8. 9 should be good. Let me go 7. And we also have to change these to match with our with our blend shapes. This will be do WQ for this one because it kind of looks the same. So it's M. It's BMP. Yeah, that looks fine. And I think that should be good. Let's go ahead and try it. Oh wait, we forgot to assign it.
My friend, you have met a terrible, terrible demise. On Tuesday. They made sourdough bread on Monday.
Let's just adjust it so you can see what the hard binary mode does. So this is just basically, it's just no blending. It just cuts to mouth shapes right
My
away.
friend, you have met a terrible.
If we go here, we could select our thing and we change our clear keys, do it to 200.
My friend, you have met a terrible, terrible demise. But, I don't feel too bad about it. After all, if it weren't from me, it would have just been from someone else, you know? I guess what I'm trying to say is life goes on. Well, for everyone else, life goes on, not for you, you're dead. But that's neither here nor there. It reminds me of one summer day in the park. I was having just a delightful picnic with my good friend Orville. And I said to him, Orville, I have a story. And he said to me, what's the significance of the story? And I said to him, Orville, not every story has to have significance, you know? Sometimes a story is just a story. If you try to read into every little thing and find meaning in everything anyone says, you'll just drive yourself crazy. I had a friend do it once. Wasn't pretty. We talked about it for years. And not only that, but you'll likely end up believing something you shouldn't believe and thinking something you shouldn't think, or assuming something you shouldn't assume, you know? Sometimes, I said, a story is just a story. So just be quiet for 1 second of your life and eat your sandwich, okay? Of course, it was only then I realized I'd made sandwiches, and poor Orville was having such difficulty eating it. Elephants have those clumsy hands, you know? Actually, I suppose that's the problem. They don't have hands at all, do they? They're all feet. I couldn't imagine someone asking me to eat a sandwich with my feet. Now, if I recall correctly, there was a bakery nearby. I said to him, Orville, let me go get you some rye bread. Now, I'm unsure if elephants enjoy rye bread, but I assure you that...
Now let's try adding some emotions. So we'll go here.
My friend, you have met a terrible, terrible demise. But,
Oh, I forgot to change this thing. 0.06.
My friend, you have met a terrible, terrible demise. But, I don't feel too bad about it. After all, if it weren't for me...
Alright, now you can see that everything works. Here's a final clip that shows, like, after a little bit of tweaking, what it looks like.
My friend, you have met a terrible, terrible demise. But, I don't feel too bad about it. After all, if it weren't from me, it would have just been from someone else, I guess what I'm trying to say is life goes on. Well, for everyone else, life goes on, not for you. You're dead. But that's neither here nor there. It reminds me of one summer day in the park. I was having just a delightful picnic with my good friend Orville. And I said to him, Orville, I have a story. And he said to me, what's the significance of the story? And I said to him, Orville, not every story has to have significance, Sometimes a story is just a story. If you try to read into every little thing and find meaning in everything anyone says, you'll just drive yourself crazy. I had a friend do it once. Wasn't pretty. We talked about it for years. And not only that, but you'll likely end up believing something you shouldn't believe and thinking something you shouldn't think, or assuming something you shouldn't assume, Sometimes, I said, a story is just a story. So just be quiet for 1 second of your life and eat your sandwich, okay? Of course, it was only then I realized I'd made sandwiches, and poor Orville was having such difficulty eating it. Elephants have those clumsy hands, Actually, I suppose that's the problem. They don't have hands at all, do they? They're all feet. I couldn't imagine someone asking me to eat a sandwich with my feet. Now, if I recall correctly, there was a bakery nearby. I said to him, Orville, let me go get you some rye bread. Now, I'm unsure if elephants enjoy rye bread, but I assure you that Orville does. Now, this was on a Tuesday, which was good because rye bread was always fresh on Tuesday. They made sourdough bread on Monday and threw it out Wednesday, or rather, they sold it at a discount for people wanting to feed the ducks, and then probably at the end of the day, finally, they threw it all out. I don't recall. I do remember a man who would bring his son to the bakery every Wednesday and then go feed the ducks. He would buy all of the sourdough bread. Of course, you're not supposed to feed the ducks sourdough bread at all. It swells up in their stomach and then they all die. At least that's what I've heard. I never saw any ducks die myself, but I did notice a substantial decrease in the duck population over the course of a few years. I just never thought to stop the man and tell him that he was killing the ducks by feeding them sourdough bread. And if you want my opinion on the matter, and I told Orville this as well, if you want to feed ducks, or birds, or any kind for that matter, it's best to buy seed. I mean, when you think about it, breads of any sort don't occur in nature. They don't grow on trees or spring up from the bushes. I don't think birds know what to do with bread. What was I saying? Oh, yes. So I bought Orville some rye bread. What a fine day it was.